working out. The quality of pictures isn't great. I just
Yeah.
think that I need to get a new phone. The
Uh-huh.
12 is like,
Mm-mm.
like there was a
Exactly.
time that I didn't have space on it. That's why I stopped doing videos because
Okay.
it would just keep saying I didn't have space. That's what made me start going live because I
Okay.
was like, oh, this is the only way that I could get my watch hours up with long
Okay.
videos without it
Okay.
affecting my storage.
Oh, I
And
see.
then I like moved some things around and it hasn't said the thing about being full in a long time. The minute I was about to give up and say, let me get a phone that way I could record
Yeah,
my videos the way
yeah.
it stopped doing it.
It started acting right.
Yeah, so it's like it's
Ah.
refusing to go.
Now tell me this.
Mhm.
So in your business,
Mhm.
do you think that you will be having a desire to capture content for social
Definitely,
media?
definitely I should
Okay.
because it has me now at the place where I'm like um cautious while I'm recording. Like I try to limit my videos to a minute because I know anything more than that used to cause a problem with my storage.
Oh, I see.
So even like if I wanted to record classes that I'm doing and things like
Okay.
that, I would
Okay.
have to make sure I cut it to
I
30
see.
seconds to a minute tops
Okay.
because then after that my phone will be full. So I should get a new phone. But that brings me back around to the question that you were saying as far as
Yes.
with the business expense. I
Yes.
remember, before I had a business, everyone would say, oh, when you have a business, you can write things off to the business expense.
Yes.
And then last year I did the form that you have to do when you claim the things that you bought that year for
Yes.
your business.
Yes.
And then I got a mail like a month ago, I want to say, and they were like, the taxes, the property taxes that I have to pay for the things that I purchased for the business. And I was like, wait, what?
Property taxes
Yes. And I
for
was like, I called them up and I'm like, well,
yeah.
property taxes, number one, I'm renting. Number two, the other
Yeah.
businesses from my house. They was like, no, for the items that you claimed last year, now you got to pay taxes on it every year. And I'm like, well, now I'm going to say I didn't buy anything.
What? Yeah, I have to look into this. I didn't file my taxes yet.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I was so taken. I'm like, okay, let me get this straight. I bought
What?
this item with my money. They're like, correct. I was like, I paid taxes on it when I bought it.
You're right,
Correct.
correct as well.
And so now I claimed it, and now you're saying every year I'm gonna be paying taxes for using the items that I bought with my money. And the lady was like, correct.
She's like, all are true.
Right.
True.
I just could not believe what she was saying to me because I'm like, this doesn't make sense. I can see if you guys gave me money, like a
Yes.
loan, and then I bought items with it, and you're like, okay, well, now you gotta. I was just like, I'm not getting.
Real. Do you do your own taxes?
No.
Okay, you have someone that's doing them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do they deal with businesses often?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I
But this
know.
form that I filled out, I remember I went into like the city and filled it out with the lady.
Really?
It's like I can't remember what it is. It's not the BOI form. It's another one that you have to fill out every year, and you put down. Oh, thank you, Rosie. You put down. Hi, Tatum. That you put down what you bought, and I'm like, okay,
Oh,
well,
you
let me
mean you talking about CT sales tax?
maybe.
And
I
that
don't
might, because
know.
that is a separate thing.
But why would a sales tax be on things that you bought? I could see if it was on the services
Wait,
that I
yeah, no, that's
provided.
it. That's the services. Never mind.
And
Take
granted,
that.
like the things that I put down were like my CPR mannequins, things like
Yeah,
that. And I'm like, I already paid for them. I paid taxes for
yeah.
them. Why am I now going to be charged taxes every year for it? So now it made me look at that concept of, because I remember I always used to hear people say, oh, write it off with the business. And I'm like, oh, that
Yes.
sounded good. But now I'm
Yeah.
about to be like, I bought nothing this year.
Well, now I'm interested. I'm gonna have to look into that because yeah, I don't do my own taxes. And I usually just send over all the things that I purchased,
Hmm.
and my tax person legally makes magic happen.
Right.
So that I'm able to get the write-offs. I still feel like there's a balance. Now, this is not tax advice.
Hmm.
People to consult your
At your own
right. Consult your professional, your tax professional.
risk.
But I feel as though there's a balancing that happens where you still
It will
benefit
make
from.
sense.
Where it just makes sense to do it.
Okay.
You know.
Because they're about
Um,
to hear every year, I didn't buy anything.
yeah, I still feel like there's going to be value in you
Well, I
writing it
end up
off.
not owing, so I do.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where that comes in, that it makes sense.
Yeah, where there's a
Because
balance.
I definitely, I remember many times when my account would be like, girl, you about to owe. And then he'll work some magic and then he'll be
Yes.
like, you're
Yep,
all
you're
set.
good.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yep.
if I get $1 back, I'll be happy. I just don't want to
I just don't
owe.
want to owe.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I imagine that's the case. But then you also have to do the math on it, right? Because let's
Mhm.
say you owe once.
Yep.
Let's say you owe $1,000.
Okay.
And now you claim these things. What they
Mhm.
sent me, I want to say it was $200 for six, like a total of 400 for the year that I gotta
Okay.
pay.
Okay.
And I'm like, if next year comes and you're gonna tax me again for these same things again, I
Mm,
almost am better off paying the thousand.
I don't know. I think it's just when you purchase, those things the one time.
She said no.
I've never heard of that. Really?
I don't know.
I
Like,
would, I would,
I'm
I
gonna
would
talk to my
talk.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, and see
talk to
what he
your guy
says.
again because
Mhm.
I don't like when I'm filing. I don't submit anything that I purchased years prior. It's just whatever I purchased for that year. Now,
Mhm.
granted, my mortgage a portion because I have my
Mhm.
home
Mhm.
office.
Yes.
Here, those that's an ongoing because I'm still here paying right rent or,
Mhm.
and so that makes
I
sense.
wish I
But
could remember the name of the form because this was last year was the first time that I ever filled out that form.
okay,
So all the other years I've had my LLC since 2023 and I've
yes.
never filled that out. So
Hmm.
this time is the first time.
You
It was like
ever?
something that they
That's
sent me in the
funny.
mail that said that if I didn't fill it out, there was
Okay.
going to be some penalty. So
Okay.
when I got that, I said, okay, let me go in and have them
Yes.
help me to do it.
I see. I
And so
see.
she said, okay, write down everything that you bought for your business, how much it
Yes.
cost. I was like, great. And then all of a
Oh,
sudden I got something
awesome.
that said property taxes. And I'm like, well, the property taxes are included in my mortgage for my house.
Then they're like,
And I'm like,
no,
and the commercial
the
space is not
property.
my property. So they're paying that. And they're like, oh, no, no, no. We're talking about the items that you. And I'm like, the items?
Yeah, it's funny.
So
I don't. Yeah, I probably should pay better attention to. I just hand over my stuff.
I have to look and see what the name of the form is to see if I can find what it was. But it was something that they mailed me and said that if I didn't fill it out by a
Yes.
certain time, I want to say it was like by October,
Yes.
that it was going to be a problem. And I was like, oh, let me
Okay.
get down there because I don't have
Yeah.
a choice.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then they said if you had needed help, that they'll help you fill it out for free. So I was like,
Okay.
okay, let me get down there and have them help me. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Wow. Okay. Well, we have homework.
I know.
We have homework.
Exactly. I was
Yes.
like, listen, what you sometimes it's like, it's a
Yeah.
catch 22.
Yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
get,
Mm-mm. Yes, indeed,
but every
indeed.
day you learn something new. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I called in the women's what's it called, the women's women's business developmental center. I think that might be the what is the business name.
What
It's
is their
like a
title?
website that
Okay.
they help women that are building their business.
Oh, really? You'll
And
have
so
to
they
send me
have
that.
grants. Yeah, they have a grant that's going to actually open up August 8th. So if you have a business, I don't
Mm.
know if it's only for Connecticut though, but they
Mm.
do have a grant called an Ignite grant.
Okay.
I want to say it's $2,500. The
Okay.
application I want to say opens up August 5th, if I'm correct. You got to check on their website. But they also offer a lot of free
Free
classes
classes,
and a lot
yes.
of free mentorship that you can
Oh,
sign
I
on
love
like for an
it.
hour and ask them questions about marketing,
Okay,
about
okay.
financing, things like that. And so I went on, and the first lady was like, so do you have to pay sales tax for your CPR, each CPR class that you do? And I was like, I don't think so. And she was like, you might want to check. And then I reached out to my training center. And she was like, yeah, we do.
Yes. Oh, good to know. Good to
So
know.
I'm saying that to say, utilize for people watching new.
Exactly.
They always say no matter who it is that you talk to, you can always learn something new. And
Absolutely.
you just have to be open to learn it. So she said that. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
taxes?
Mm-mm.
uh,
Wow. Well, good to know. Good to
yeah,
know.
absolutely.
Yeah, good
But
to
I feel like business
know.
ownership, despite all the stress, is absolutely worth it.
It is. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I feel kind of going back to what you were talking about
Mm-hmm.
earlier about basically having people, on your team to help
Mm-hmm.
you. I feel like that's so important because oftentimes I feel like we spend a lot of time doing the things
Mm-hmm.
that's not moving the needle.
Yes.
But it's like, oh, this is fun. And we put the things aside that really would move the needle. We don't feel like doing it. We don't get around to it. I could just be talking about myself.
No.
Where it's like, I don't want to do it, but I want to do this. This brings me joy. This is fun.
Right.
And so there's a book. What is the name of the book? I was listening to, I think it's a audio book that I was listening to by John C. Maxwell. I think it was either the, what is it, 21 Irrefutable Laws, or what's this other book? I have to think about it. But essentially, in the book, they were talking about how it's important for us to spend time doing things that we're really good at. And
Okay.
the things that we're not really good at, just outsource
Yeah,
that.
to
Bring
let the
someone
people that
else.
are good at
Yeah,
it
because
do
we
it.
spend so much time focusing on things that we're weaker in, and it's just not adding, the value that we need for
Right.
our businesses. So it's like, yeah, I get that. I'm like, I need to really do that. And there's this, oh no, that's not the book. Oh my gosh, because there's this self-assessment quiz you can do, and they're showing you your strengths and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great resource that companies are now incorporating, where they Clifton something.
Okay.
Clifton, darn it. Clifton is in the word. The Clifton system, the Clifton something. But yes, I'm sure if you all did a quick search for
Mm-hmm.
a book that had, or some type of self assessment that involved the words Clifton, because the person who created it,
Mm-hmm.
his name is Clifton.
Okay.
And so yeah, so with this assessment, it helps you to identify the strengths. And someone who told me about this book, she was sharing that their company at Pratt and Whitney, they actually went through this book, they did the assessment, and they're like a whole bunch of engineers, and they all ranked the same.
Oh wow.
On the team, everyone were like ranked the same, which is not what you want.
Right, not good because
You don't
everyone
want
is
that.
it has the same strengths and the same weaknesses,
Exactly.
and so they need people that can balance
Balance.
out so they have the best of.
Absolutely balance. I was like, ah. So now I actually want to go through the process of my team, having them, complete that survey just to kind of see. And as I'm bringing people in, I even want to do
That's
it
what I was about to say.
then.
Can you do it before you even hire them to see if the
I feel like that's gonna
person
be my thing.
is coming in with something fresh or different?
Yeah, or how I can place. You know what I mean?
Literally,
So
what you're saying though is what I was describing to my sister and everyone this week. I was like, there's so many different things. Like I would have loved, like let's say if I had the team,
yes,
one person would work on the sign, right? Because I still need to get the sign in the front of
yes,
my place.
yes.
So one person will work on the approval because it is in a historic neighborhood, so you need to get
Okay.
approval before you put it.
Mm-hmm.
I could be working on the contracts.
Yes.
Someone else could be working on getting the CPR merch for the
Yes.
people that come in. Someone else could be working
Mm-hmm.
on, it would be so nice for us to meet once a week and they say,
Yes.
where we at with the sign? Okay, well,
Uh-huh.
we already got approval. We got this. We just got to pick. So it would be nice. Instead, it's just like, I feel like if I could have 10 of me, I'd
Yes.
have been a billionaire a long
Yes.
time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
I'd have been a billionaire a long time ago,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I've tried before, like you said, the idea of working with other people.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, in the beginning, it sounds like you guys kind of align with like the same drive, the same grind.
Yes.
I do know like one person, for example, we were kind of doing a similar thing. And then when we spoke, though, it kind of changed to like, well, I'll just get on to yours. And I was like, well, that's not what I thought,
Yes.
you had your own thing going. I had
Yes.
my own thing going. And we were
Yes.
like, merge together to do
Yeah.
business.
Collaborate on
Right,
projects.
exactly. And then, after that, the person would always be like, well, yeah, think of some ideas and let me know what you want us to merge. I'm like, I'm busy too. Me
Yeah.
think of
Yeah.
ideas. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
busy too.
Yeah. It's like we
So,
all like come to the table. With
right.
something
And so it just gave, I don't know, like
brought
it
things into
wasn't given,
perspective.
reciprocity. It was given,
Yeah.
and I was like, never mind. I'll just work by
Yeah. Not
myself.
a good fit at this
Yes,
time.
but I do agree what you're saying. I pray about it and I said I'm just gonna keep doing what I have to do. And
Yes.
like you said, by being in certain environments and doing certain things,
Yes.
naturally, I think it does help for you
It
to end
does.
up being around people that align.
Exactly, exactly. But we have to be open.
Hmm.
We have to show up
Yeah.
because I feel like sometimes, not the case of what we're talking about, but I hear oftentimes a person's like, "Oh, I want to do da 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 da," and then I'm like, "But I'm seeing and I'm hearing these opportunities that
Hmm.
you could have been tapping into,
Yes.
and you didn't." So I'm like, God will
That's me,
give
because
us
I say
what.
that and then I'll be at home.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, you
right,
just told me
right.
about the fair. I'll have the shirts and I'll be like,
Yes.
at home.
Yeah, see,
So that's for
yes,
me.
it's true. That
I
is
don't know if you're.
real.
Why does this have the pause thing?
Oh, that's my time.
Oh,
I
okay,
think
okay,
it's the
okay, okay.
time.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
all right.
I think I'm still, is it still
I
going?
see the time still going on it,
Oh, it
so
is?
it
Okay.
should.
Oh, yeah. Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, someone had shared something a couple of weeks ago, and I said, I am using this. Now let's see if I remember it.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, I'm always meeting poor people.
Mm.
They were in a room, and they were like, and I'd imagine a lot of you in here are poor. And they're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, passing opportunities. No, passing. Yep, passing opportunities. No, passing over opportunities repeatedly.
Ooh.
Passing over opportunities repeatedly.
Don't be poor, y'all.
Don't
Passing
be.
over opportunities repeatedly.
Yes. And I meet a lot of people who are poor.
Mm-hmm.
I meet so many people, and I'm like, I just want to jump in their body and move for
Uh-huh.
them,
Uh-huh.
like just for them to get a taste and then
Mm-hmm.
jump out. So it's like, see, yes, now go, go, you got this, you know? And it's like where, I feel like people operate out of fear. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
just do
True.
it.
Yep.
I said, lean into that fear, just do it. I'm like, you have such a great gift, a product that the world deserves to see. You have a contribution that we need to tap into. Just do it.
Very true.
Yeah.
Hi,
And
Seneca. How are you? I know you're saying hi to me. I don't want to ignore you. You said, hey, my chocolate
yes.
drop. But what you just said reminds me. I started reading Think and Grow Rich. Is that what it is?
Yes. Yep.
So there was a chapter that was talking about the when the guy found a goal and he borrowed the money to get the equipment to mine the goal,
Yes.
and when he I mentioned this with you guys before, so I don't know if you've heard me say it, but and so he dug, did not find the gold, ends up selling it to some like scrap yard, the equipment, and now he has to go back home and think about how to pay the people back that lent him the money.
Mm.
That same person that bought it for a couple $100 ended up bringing in someone that knew how to, look over, let's say, the geography and could figure it out. And the
Yes.
person was 3 feet away from where the gold was. So they went back with the same machinery that he bought for the couple hundred and dug down and got the gold. And so he was saying many times we are 3 feet away from our goal.
Mm.
And when we go to do something and it doesn't work how we would like it to or as easy as we
Mm-hmm.
want, people give
Mm-hmm.
up and they're
Yep.
literally three
Prematurely.
feet away from their gold.
Facts.
In this case, it was gold, GOLD, but with us, it's gold, GOAL, right?
Yes.
And so he was saying
Yes.
that a lot of times people don't realize if you push past that period that feels like that, that's often where the results of whatever it is that you want are. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
push yourself past the fear. You have to push yourself past the disappointment. You have to push yourself past the failure, the anxiety. And if you're willing to do that, on the other side of that is often the results of something that you really want. And I was like, wow, that's so true.
That's my life.
That's so true.
That's my life. That is my life. It's so true. I'm like, so it's, I think we just got to get in the habit of just pushing forward and not looking at things, a little mishap as a failure.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a failure when you don't do. I feel like all of
Exactly.
that is just guiding us. As long as you're moving forward, you're taking action,
Mm-hmm.
that is true success. It doesn't become failure, in my opinion, until you stop
To
trying,
stop moving forward. Exactly.
you know?
That's
Mm-hmm.
like, someone said to me, "Oh, you're fearless." I said, "No, I'm not fearless. I cry
Mm-hmm.
before I do stuff. I cry while
Yes.
I do stuff. I
Yes. And
cry after I
after.
do stuff." But I just refuse to let the fear stop me from doing the thing. And that's one of
Yes.
the most important things for me. Like, I go through whatever emotions I have to go through associated with it, but I know that it's
Yes.
something that needs to be done. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to push by it and push through it,
Mm-hmm.
because I
Mm-hmm.
also know that at that moment you'll have that emotion associated with it,
Mm-hmm.
but 10 years from now you won't have that same
Mm-mm.
sentiment. So you'll either be happy that you pushed through and did it, or you will be
Mm.
in regret that you allowed that feeling to
To stop
govern,
you.
right,
Yes,
what
to
you would do
govern.
or not do. So
Mm-hmm. When was the last time you felt fearful about doing something? And
ah
what was that, if you don't mind sharing?
sure, well, I would say the last time I was fearful about doing something was my surgery, because I had,
Mm-hmm.
if you follow my channel, my people up here, I had fibroids removed in
Mm-hmm.
June. And when I initially got the appointment, it was a year in advance. And I remember at first I was like, a year in advance? Like when they gave me a year like away, I was so disappointed, because I'm thinking they're gonna give me like a month, 2 months, and I'm gonna go get it over with. But
Yes.
instead, it was a year away, and I'm like, okay. So I start working, doing my thing in my in
Uh-huh.
my world, and then before you know it, I looked, and it was 6 months away. Then before you know it, it was 3 months away. Then before you know it, it was um 3 weeks away. Then three
Mm-hmm.
days, and then at that point, all the fear and anxiety started to take over me, because even though I'm a nurse and I've worked in the ICU and I've worked in all these, I started to be like, well, I've never been hospitalized. I still have my wisdom teeth. I have my tonsils. I've
Yes.
never been under sedation. I've never had to stay overnight. I started to wonder if there was a shower in the hospital room, because I'm like, I shower every morning and
Yeah,
night. I
yeah,
can't even picture me,
yeah.
like, don't bring me them bird bat wipes that they be giving them in the
Ah,
hospital, because
she's
I'll
like, because
die
I'm
if,
not doing
yeah,
it.
I'll die if I have to do that. So all of these things, then I started being like, when they would ask if you have a reaction to anesthesia, I'm like, I don't know. Do I have a reaction to
Uh-huh,
anesthesia? Like,
uh-huh,
we're
uh-huh.
about to find out together, and that might be what takes me out. That's what might be what kills me.
Aw.
So all of these things start going through my mind. Then you go do the pre-op appointment, and they have you sign paperwork. Like in an emergency, we might have to do a hysterectomy. And I'm like, hysterectomy? Like, imagine waking up and they're like, so yeah, we had to. So
Ah.
all of these thoughts, when I tell you, like especially the week, I would say like 3 weeks before, up until the point, were very overwhelming for me, because I'm like,
Mm.
or what if I hear bad news? What if they come? Like it's just these things that, again, you work in the field, but
Mm.
you're often
Mm.
on the other side, right?
Mm.
So I remember thinking, I was like, yo, I'm gonna be going there, and I'm gonna probably burst into tears while I'm talking to the surgeons, and they're gonna be like, what's up with this lady? And
Yeah.
so I didn't get a chance to, though, because I went in there. They said, okay, wipe down with these things, with the what do they call, the chlorhexidine wipes, and put the
Mm-hmm.
gown on. And then the guy said, I'm gonna give you some medication to relax a little bit. And I was like, okay. And then before you know it, we got into the OR, and they said, scoot over. I scooted over. They asked my name. And then the nurse anesthetist said, I'm gonna give you some oxygen. It's not the medication. And I said, okay. And the next time I woke up, I was in my room. Because in my mind, I thought I was gonna be like, I'm afraid. Like I thought that I was gonna start crying. I thought I was gonna
Oh
cry in front of the surgeons, and they were gonna be like, "Girl, really?" But I didn't get a chance to do all of that, because she said, "I'm gonna give you oxygen," and I was like, "Okay." And then
my
I
God. And
woke
you were
up
knocked out.
knocked out. And let me tell you, everyone else's videos that I watched on YouTube,
Yes.
they had a period when they were in the recovery room recording and talking.
Uh-huh.
I can't even tell you what the recovery room looks like. I know I
What?
must have woke up enough to